There's a lot of misinformation out there about coronavirus, but really, how many people believe these crazy things? Well, we now know, at least a little bit, from a recent Yahoo News poll. 44% of Republicans, for instance, believe that Bill Gates is plotting to use a mass COVID-19 vaccination campaign as a pretext to implant microchips in billions of people and monitor their movements. 44%. Only 26% say it's false. So when you see the 44%, you might think a majority say it's not true. But no, a lot of them are just like, well, maybe. 1/4 say, I'm certain Bill Gates is not going to be tracking our movements with microchips distributed through vaccines. Like 44% of the Republican Party is at least one Alex Jones crazy, is how I see it, Jordan.
So with this misinformation and how it manifests in people's ignorance toward coronavirus, I think there's two culprits here. So you have Fox News and the right-wing media infrastructure at large. And they're, at the onset of this crisis, sought to downplay the severity, downplay the risks, just misinform viewers in a defense of Trump because his response was inadequate. The second culprit here is mostly Facebook, but tech and social media giants at large. And people are the conspiracy theories are rampant on those platforms. And because most people get their news now from those platforms, it's really insidious in how it infects people's viewpoints in these types of things. So you could have these completely baseless claims spread because they're eye-catching, because they're sensationalized and fake. And then the end result is people believing things like this. So it's truly dangerous, and there's no really oversight mechanism for Fox. But it is on Facebook. It's on Facebook to police its own platform. When you have the largest social media platform in the world, most people are getting their news from it. That's dangerous when you have things like that are misinforming and leading to real world consequences. I think there should be some sort of culpability and responsibility on the platforms to police the content on there.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they have been incredibly hesitant to do that. Even when so a lot of the times Facebook has just sort of thrown their hands up and said, this isn't our responsibility, particularly when the falsehoods are in like political ads. Even when they say they're going to do something, we find out later that they put almost no resources to it, or they're unable to keep up with the rapid spread of fake news. It seems like at least as big of a problem this time around as in 2016, despite the fact that they've had close to 4 years now to do something about it. I know, and the thing is, they're in a rough position because, like, YouTube, they did a little bit of cracking down on people spreading coronavirus-specific misinformation, and they've been attacked. And you've probably seen Trump saying, we're going to look into these social media networks that are cracking down on conservatives. They're not cracking down on conservatives. They're cracking down on obvious lies that are going to get people killed, but that's going to be weaponized by the right because they have to present themselves 100% of the time as victims. Now, oh, no, continue.
Oh, no, I had nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. I want to show you this because you're not going to be able to see most of this. But this is that vaccine thing by different groups. So, for instance, you can see that at the very top, people for whom Fox News is their chief source of information, 50% say that vaccine thing is true, compared to 26% who don't. The thing is, if you break it down by, like, people who watch MSNBC, 15% of those think it's true. People who voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016, 12% think it's true. Because the thing is, we should remember that when it's specifically about vaccines and misinformation, that's kind of more of a centrist lefty sort of area of misinformation in my experience rather than the right. They've opportunistically taken it up in this case because they like the idea that there's this like leftist billionaire that they see anyway, and they don't want to believe that coronavirus is serious. But for the most part, vaccines, that there's a wide range of people who are willing to believe almost anything about those.
Yeah.
Here, let's jump into some other misinformation. Oh, actually, sort of related to the vaccine. So it's one thing to say, do you think that Bill Gates is going to implant you with a cyber chip? But what about, will you actually get vaccinated? So Clinton voters are nearly 30 points more likely to say they will, 72%, than Trump voters, 44%. A majority of Trump voters say they either plan to skip the shot, 29%, or that they aren't sure, 27%. So that means that, like, this miracle that we're all waiting for, that hypothetically would allow right-wingers to get what they want, which is to go back out there, have everything reopen, you don't have to wear a mask and all that stuff. Less than half say they even plan on taking the vaccine once it comes, even though Trump, now he's occasionally said the vaccines aren't necessary, that's true, but for the most part says, we're pushing forward, I've got Operation Warp Speed, it's going to be awesome. Less than half of them even plan to take it once it's available.
Yeah, I mean, so my knee-jerk reaction is, so be it. Let them suffer. But the thing is, and then they then pose a risk to people they might come in contact with who might not be able to afford it or can't access the vaccine. We've seen conversations around access and affordability of a potential vaccine, and no one really is willing to guarantee that it would be accessible to everybody. So we're going to see a malicious for-profit healthcare system impact vaccine rollout as well whenever that comes. So it's just issues on both sides of this thing too. So people who aren't doing this aren't just putting themselves at risk and are worthy of mockery. They're also putting others at risk, and that's deeply concerning.
Yeah. Look, finally on that, when you break down all the demographics, only half of Americans say they plan at this point to take the vaccine. Man, 100,000 people are dead. This is the solution. This is the solution that we're like praying will be ready in just a year. Just a year of this thing devastating the country. And as you walk around, as you go to your Memorial Day pool party, half the people in there both want to pretend that this thing isn't a threat and won't do the very easy thing that would make it not a threat to them personally. Jesus. Okay, there's more though. Let me get your reaction to this. So, a majority of Fox News viewers, 53%, along with nearly half of Trump voters at 49%, think hydroxychloroquine is an effective treatment for COVID-19. So, all that we went through, half of them think, oh yeah, no, they proved it. It's effective. The WHO just pulled another study because they thought it was unethical to continue it, what with the risks it was posing to those subjects.
Yep, exactly. I was just going to mention that. That's, but then they just move to discrediting the WHO. It's like they can never admit that, maybe their worldview doesn't entirely stack up. It's just every single thing. No, everyone's out to get them. The WHO is out to get them. Bill Gates is out to get them. Big Pharma is out to get them. Everybody. Instead of submitting, hey, maybe this global pandemic that's killed hundreds of thousands of people here and millions more around the world, maybe this is actually a bad thing that we need to take serious. No, it can't be that. The world is out to get us.
Yeah. They might be onto something with Big Pharma being out to get them, at least their money. But yeah, oh God. And like after like all the studies, it doesn't matter. He succeeded just by going up there every day and saying the word over and over again, and then saying that he takes it. And a bunch of them want to take it, like when they asked him in this poll. Like 41% are like, no, if it was available, I'd start taking it now. Like that doesn't mean that they're all taking it, but they all wish that they could. It's just amazing. More Trump voters, I should say, or Fox viewers, don't trust the CDC than do. The CDC, which is just there to stop pandemics from destroying America, they don't trust them. And why should they? They went to school. Okay, let's see. Feel free. I mean,
I don't want to say it. Go ahead. Let's keep going.
Let's see. Majorities of Trump voters and Republicans and Fox News viewers, 65% of Fox News viewers, believe that Chinese scientists engineered coronavirus in a lab from which it accidentally escaped. Not think, well, there might be something to that, or it could turn out to be true. They're like, no. Chinese scientists. That's what happened. 65%. And why shouldn't they? There have been people on Fox saying it over and over again for literally months.
Yeah, that whole theory doesn't really make sense. Not that anything that we've talked about in this segment makes sense, but this theory that like China has like bioengineered this thing and to release it to the world, it just think about that for 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. China engineers a virus to infect the world. So what? So the entire world blames it on China. What's the net gain there? Like all you do is like stigmatize yourself to the entire world. That makes zero sense. So yeah, you see a lot of right wingers pushing this theory for what? I mean, it's like some xenophobic, national interest, foreign policy ploy to smear an enemy. Yeah. That's it. This theory that they engineered it doesn't make sense because all they would do is be shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
at least
not really.
at least in this case, they add from which it accidentally escaped. That's tricky.
Oh,
But here's the thing about conspiracy theories is that they're almost always obviously not internally consistent. So the thing is, we are surrounded by millions of Americans who believe two things simultaneously. That this was a bioweapon cooked up by the Chinese and either intentionally or accidentally released. A bioweapon designed to kill Americans, to destroy the American economy. They believe that. They also believe it's not that deadly. Come on, it's like the regular flu. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to wear a mask. Come on, you're making it up. It's a hoax. It's not serious. Deadly Chinese bioweapon. I don't have to do anything about it, though, really. Really, I can just go on living. Come on, man. Choose a lane. Choose a crazy lane. But they won't.
Well, it's like at the onset, they were up in arms about China not being honest about their death totals while claiming that ours were overinflated. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, it's deadly there, but it's fine here. It's just this complete disconnect. I mean, that boils down to xenophobia. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I mean, just like this projection and xenophobic attitude towards places like China. It's this this terrible, deadly virus there, but here it's not going to affect us, or everyone's blowing it out of proportion. Yeah. All right.
One final number, and this number will only go up over time. I'm shocked it's as low as it is right now, but this is something we've been predicting for some time. 52% of Trump voters and 55% of Fox News viewers insist that the current death count, the official death count, is too high. So when we constantly ask, why are they taking it more seriously? We sort of understand one reason. They don't think anything that they've been told is true. I mean, I don't know for any individual Trumper if they think 75,000 people died, or 20,000 people, or 50 people. I don't know. But they definitely believe that it isn't 100,000, and so they don't have to care about it.
And what's wild about that is experts have said that the death count is higher. It's higher than what we see now because people are dying without being tested. People aren't being included, and there's discrepancies in death counts and autopsies and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And people just don't know they have it. So experts have said that the death toll is higher than what it is right now. So as that number increases, so does the actual death toll.
Yeah, but those estimates come from scientists, so naturally suspect. Yeah, we know that people are dying at home. We know thousands in New York. You can see the excess numbers, and you don't have to believe necessarily that those excess deaths were caused by coronavirus, but you could at least offer an alternative. Alien spiders. I don't know. What is it that's killing all of these people that is not the pandemic wreaking havoc? What's diabetes? What all of a sudden is killing so many people? Come up with something. And whatever that is, let's also take that seriously. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.